Hello, beauties. This is going to be a very short live. It's not going to be that long. I hope everyone is having a good night. A very short live. It's not going to be that long. I hope everyone is having a good night. Already. That's funny. Already. Haven't even started the live yet, and already a thumbs down. Isn't that fun? Okay. Okay, so how's everyone doing today? Tonight, it's going to be a short live. My internet was down. I've been home, but let me scoot this back a little bit. But my internet was down. Hopefully, it doesn't go down on you guys. If it does, I apologize. Shout out to the replay watchers because I know there's going to be a few of them because this is going to be a short live and it's late. Thank you, Heather. Hey, Diamond. Robin, how are you? Jameson. Donna, how is everyone? Because my internet was down, my fiance couldn't wait very much longer. So him and my oldest son, he took him to his first nightclub. So we'll see how that goes when they get back. Thank you. I'm a Gemini. I have to look at something different every time I look in the mirror. Hey, Stella. Okay. Only positive intentions. How are you if you're still here? Well, welcome everybody. And also welcome to the replay watchers as well. Love you guys. Yeah, it's different. It's different. I can't look. I have to change every week because I get tired of looking at myself. Hey, Lynn. Well, you can comment as much as you want to, Donna. So I wanted to talk to you guys for a minute about critical thinking versus emotional thinking. And I think that it's a good conversation to have because just because of, because so many creators are going at it with each other, right? Sometimes you'll be in this chat, you'll be in that chat, and people pay attention to it, and you don't know where to go and what creator you're making mad. And some people can relate to this and some people can't, right? Yes, isn't this so cute? I cover it because just in case like we have a gnat or something, I don't want to get in my cup. But it's like, you don't know where to go. So let's look up the definition of critical thinking versus emotional thinking. Let's see what it says in the thing. Google, good old Google. Emotional thinking. And that's like the first thing that came up. Okay. Well, it's not really verses. It's kind of goes hand in hand. But I want to read this article. Okay. So here's a bit of shorthand for the basis of our discussion. You can get a lot longer definitions, which tend to confuse me, but I can understand this. Critical thinking is the application of disciplined process of objectively Evaluating information based on actual observation and factual evidence, resulting in an in-depth of understanding and clarity, which supports good decision making. Okay. Critical thinking requires hard work, a bit of research, some thoughtful reflection, fairness, the ability to evaluate evidence, which may require one to jettison things which are not true. It is hard work. It is not for the intellectually lazy. You, of course, are not intellectually lazy. Okay, so emotional thinking is the way you feel about things: anger, anxiety, empathy, confusion, contentment, curiosity, desire, excitement, fear, fondness, forgiveness, grief, guilt, happiness, hate, hope, hostility, irritation, jealousy, loneliness, longing, love, like parent-child, passion, resignation, relentless, revenge, sadness, shame, surprise, suspicion, sympathy, tenderness, worry. There are more, but this is a good list to start with, and for me covers most of what I was thinking. Thank you, Goose. You're so sweet. Thank you, sweetheart. And they are easy as hell to allow that bubble to surface and rule our lives. It does not require hard work to give into our emotions, because it doesn't. And yet, every day we find ourselves, these contacts, I need new contacts. We find ourselves enmeshed in many of them. Are your actions guided by those emotions? Mine are. A lot of people are. Let's be clear. Being impacted by emotion is not a bad thing. Acting on emotion alone may have some unfortunate consequences. And to be honest with you, I'm going to read a little bit more and I'm going to leave it at that, because that makes sense, right? Hey, Jennifer K, and to anybody else I missed. Okay. On the other hand, our president, oh God, he's not our president anymore. This is an older article. On the other hand, our president, Donald Trump, seems to be equally driven by emotion. The big red car, not trying to offend anybody who likes Donald Trump, just saying. The big red car thinks both of these guys are manipulators of the emotions of their audiences. Leaders will do that. Good and bad leaders will do that. You do realize, dear reader, that President Donald Trump was elected because he trapped into the anger in the hinterlands, right? Another example is feeling a VC-funded startup CEO has. That's nothing. That's about Donald Trump. Whatever. Okay. Thank you, Rocklyn. Thank you so much, beautiful. You guys are so amazing. I love y'all. Thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you. Okay. Do you guys understand the difference between critical thinking and emotional thinking? Because I think sometimes people get it confused. So I'm going to give you guys an example. Some people know who Critical K is, some people don't. And I think a lot of you guys know that I have very strong feelings about Critical K. When I first started filming videos, I don't know, probably like my first or second video, I started getting suggested Critical K. And I started watching her. And from what I watched, I liked, hey, Sunflower. I liked how she encouraged critical thinking, because critical thinking is important in life, right? And I liked that. So I went on her panel and, we talked, we discussed everything. I liked the discussions that we were having. And then I continued to go on her panel for weeks straight. And then as I was going on her panel more and more, people were sending me things like, you just don't know who you're supporting. You don't know who you're supporting. And I just ignored it. I'm like, whatever. You know what I mean? Because I looked at it like, okay, this is somebody that I like, that I listen to. Not listen to, but I like her ways of thinking. I like how she encourages critical thinking. And my mother was with a detective, or sheriff, whatever. He was a big time sheriff in our town, and she was with him for almost 30 years off and on. So because, when you're with your mate, some of that rubs off, and my mother used a lot of critical thinking, so she taught me to do that as well. So it was always very nice to watch Critical K because that's what she encouraged, and I liked that about her. And then finally, it may have been a comment that she said, something made me do my own research on Critical K. I didn't go by what people were sending me or anything like that. I did my own research, and I'm like, oh my God, no. She's talking about George Floyd and that whole, the whole Black Lives Matter movement. She's talking about just horrible, horrible, nasty things. And then it was a wrap for me. I was done, and I learned my lesson, and I learned that it is important, that it's not necessarily something that's important if you don't know, okay? But if you are watching a creator, and let's just say that you're being warned about that creator, or people are sending you things about that creator, I definitely encourage any subscriber to do their research, okay? Any supporter to do their research on a creator that may be very problematic, because some of the things that you may see, you might not want to align yourself with that type of person, okay? But it's definitely something, me as a creator, I will always do before I talk about anybody. Meaning, if I am going to get on here and talk about, I don't know, BXB Boy or something, I'm going to do my research. I'm going to do my due diligence before I get on here and say anything about him. The creator that whines because you mute him, cry like a crybaby. Yeah, that person. I'm going to do my due diligence before I speak, because that's what you should do if you have a commentary channel. Hey, Heather, how are you? That's what you should do if you have a commentary channel. You should do your due diligence, your research. You can't just go on your channel and talk about somebody and not just go by hearsay or what people say, right? So I think in a lot of ways, it's been like that with supporters, especially with certain creators. I've been in that position, so I know how it is. I know how it is when you're supporting somebody and you think that they're a certain way, and then they turn out to be nothing like what you thought they were. And then you have so many people surrounded around you, that don't get along with that person, that are judging you because you may have defended that creator. You may have, defended that creator and literally went hard for that creator because you literally felt in your heart that what this creator was going through and the things that she has told you, you felt as though it was the truth. And instead of seeing that creator as being bullied, try to think of it as, why is this person on the bad side of so many people and what behavior got them there? That's true. That's true. But I seriously think, Jennifer K., that differs from every situation, though, because there are creators that are hated just because they could be hated because of their success. They could be hated because they speak their mind. It just depends. That's why I say it's always, good to do your due diligence and come up with that opinion on your own. You know what I mean? But then there are some people like myself, like there is a certain creator who literally has had 4 to 5 channels, and I don't think that she is a bad person. I think that she's done a lot of bad things, but I have definitely went hard for that creator and defended that creator from what I seen, because it seemed as though she was being bullied. And in a lot of ways, when I was defending her back then, she was. However, what she's doing now, obviously, I can't defend. But did I do research on her? No, I didn't do research on her, because everybody, especially as a supporter, everyone makes mistakes, and nobody should be judged or talked about harshly because they chose to support someone that they believed in. Nobody should be judged harshly because of that. Nobody should be teared down because of that, especially when the person who's tearing the other person down has done the same thing that they're mad at the other person for doing. Does that make sense? Let me read some comments, because I think it really does depend on the situation. As a creator, I think it's important to use critical thinking. As a supporter, I think it's easy to just use emotional thinking without thinking about it. Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. And it's very easy for other people to say, well, why didn't you do your research on her? Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? And it's not always that easy when you are on YouTube and you choose to support somebody, just like I choose to support Natasha. I think Natasha is funny. She makes me laugh. She makes my kids laugh. She has this way of conveying her thoughts in a very intellectual way. I like that about her. And in the same sense, she is very blunt and straightforward. And to me, that's why people don't like her. And I would rather form my own opinion about her, because even if that creator is doing bad stuff now, back then, I don't know if that creator is doing bad stuff. You know what I mean? And I'm not talking about Natasha in this example, because I don't think she's doing anything bad. But there are definitely people that have emailed me and said, you have to do your research on Natasha. You have to do this and you have to do that. And to me, I look at it like, I'm supporting her. She's never done anything wrong to me. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just not. And that is the way supporters think. And in no way should they be teared down for that. Some supporters don't think that way. Ultimately, here's what it comes down to. Some people use critical thinking as a habit, and some people use emotional thinking. It's very important to use critical thinking. However, some people don't, and that's okay. Okay, some people think or make decisions based off emotions, and it's not always the right thing to do, but nobody should be judged if that's what they do, if that makes any sense. Also, I believe it's important for people to form their own opinions. If they see themselves that they can no longer support a person, it is on their own time. Exactly. That's just how I feel. And I don't feel like anybody as a supporter should ever be judged harshly because they chose to support someone they believed in at the time. And now that person is doing bad things and they're not supporting them now. If a person takes accountability and says, maybe I should have done my research. Now it's to me, I'm not giving a motherfucking apology to nobody, because I don't owe nobody an apology. Okay. There are people saying that they can't forgive me. I'm not asking for your forgiveness. There's nothing for me to apologize to you for. If there's somebody that I've known, and I've known since I started not since I started my channel, with a couple months within my channel, I met somebody, and she's literally one of the first people that befriended me, and somebody that I trusted over a lot of other people. And I trusted her opinion and I trusted what she said. I'm not going to apologize just because I trusted a friend and that friend ended up doing me wrong, or maybe that friend, may have manipulated the situation. Who knows? I'm not saying she did. I'm not saying she didn't, but I am not going to apologize for that. I'm just not, because everybody makes mistakes, for one. Okay. And not everybody uses critical thinking. Some people use it in their everyday life. Some people use it in certain situations. In some situations, they don't. In my situation, I thought, this is a person that I can trust. And then I found out towards the end that I couldn't. And that's okay. You live and you learn. And no way should anybody be crucified because they chose to support somebody or because they were on a panel when somebody was saying bad things. That doesn't mean you're co-signing it either. Sorry, I disagree. Because every single person that is sitting there saying you're co-signing because you were on a panel when this person was saying bad things, every single person that has literally crucified other people have done the same thing. That's a hypocrite. That's hypocrisy. That's ridiculous. Okay. Also, everyone has different judgments and standards for what behavior is acceptable, and you can't project yours on others. Amen. You are so smart, Jennifer K. You know that? All of you guys are highly intelligent, and I absolutely adore each and every one of you. And I'm just going to say, no, I'm not Natasha, Lori. So, oh, never mind. Is Natasha here? Because I didn't see her. I'm like, no, I'm not Natasha. You're on the wrong live. Oh, I didn't even see her. Hey, Natasha. Dang, that coffee's so damn good. But yeah, I was just talking about you, Natasha. Like, I like Natasha, and it's my choice. It's my decision, and it doesn't matter who sends me an email. It doesn't matter. It's my choice. And if for some reason down the line, Natasha ends up doing me wrong, then guess what? You live and you learn. I don't care about what other people think. And even to be honest with you, when I've done my research, I don't see anything that Natasha has done wrong. I see Natasha calls people out on their shit. The exact same thing I'm doing sitting right here right now. And there's nothing wrong with that. Could you imagine someone in real life walking up and saying, you can't be friends with so-and-so? Right, Tattoos? Yes, all of you guys are so, so highly intelligent. I learn from every single one of y'all. I hope you know that. Where's my leader? In high school, yes, but here's the thing. I have never felt more like I am in high school again than I do right now. The only difference is in high school, that's what I'm saying. You can't always go by everybody is turned against this one person, because guess what? People were turned against me every day. You know, I was threatened to get my face cut up. I was threatened to get jumped by several women, and several girls, and I did nothing to these girls. Nothing. So you cannot always say that, oh, there's a reason why nobody likes her. There was no reason. There was no reason why I was threatened to get my face cut up. Those I didn't do anything to them. And what in the hell could I possibly have done to deserve to get that threat every single day when I'm in school? Afraid to walk down the halls, afraid to this, afraid of that, because it was me against 23 other females that hated me for no reason. We were all friends in junior high, and then boom, we go to high school and it's completely different. And I've never felt more like in high school than I do now, except for the only difference is now I know I'm very resilient because of what I went through in high school, and I know how to defend myself. I know what to ignore and brush off my shoulder and what to acknowledge. You know what I mean? But the things that I went through in high school, yes, there are definitely times, more like in junior high, where it was like, oh, I seen you playing and talking to that person. We don't like her, so bye. We don't want anything to do with you anymore. And I feel like that's definitely something that is here in the YouTube community. It's like, oh, I seen you in that person's chat. Well, did you see me talking about you? Was that person on panel? Was the creator talking about you? Then what's wrong with me being in that chat? Like, it's just, you know, it's definitely very junior high-ish to me. Let me catch up on comments. Looking back, there are definitely times that I think the more emotional side of my mind took over and got me into some bad situation. There's a place for both ways of thinking, and balancing is hard. It is. It's very hard. And it's not just hard. It's hard in your everyday life. You know, some people can just automatically critically think, and it does. Just like this article said, it requires critical thinking requires a lot of work. Emotional thinking also, in my opinion, requires work too, but in a different way. It's your brain overworking when it comes to emotional thinking, because you've seen all of those things that I listed. Those are the things that drive you to overreact, to think too much, sometimes to be too sensitive, things like that. So it doesn't always have to be black and white. Like, there's a gray area. Well, dang, what did I miss? Just got to our hotel and looked to see who was live. Oh, nothing. We're just talking about critical thinking in an article that I read, and I was just using different examples. Natasha, looking back. Oh, never mind. I read that. Just want to make sure. If I missed any of your comments, please comment it again if there's something that you really want me to know, because I don't want to go back too far because I'll get lost. There are a lot of people that try to be fixers as well. I know at times I'm bad for it. Ones that think they see something good in someone and they think they can try to help. And right. Only positive intentions. You are very spot on with that. Oh, girl, my daughters went through the same things. I'm going to tell you why. Because you're beautiful and some girls can't handle that. Oh, thank you, Mrs. Hernandez. You're beautiful too. Thank you so much. By the same token, there's also not so good people who do questionable things and cry victim. That's what I meant by earlier. I get it. I get what you're saying. Absolutely. And for some people, they can see that's right on. Just like that, Jennifer K. And then there's some people who can't see it until later. You know what I mean? And because that person can't see it until later, they shouldn't feel like their apology or their accountability isn't good enough. There is also this human nature aspect that comes into play, where people feel they need a tribe that can get out of hand easily. It's the only gang mentality. I agree, Boston. It's unreal how childish these grown adults act here on these YouTube streets. Yes, Donna. You are evolved and know when it's time to distance yourself from somebody. Absolutely. I definitely know that. And, you know, the person, the specific creator that I was defending, I you know, it's disappointing to see that she's doing all of, you know, seeing the things that she has done this past week is very disappointing, because you know, she knows what it's like to go through those things. So it's disappointing to see this blatantly right in front of your face that you're like, oh my God, why? Like, no, don't do this. You know what I mean? Doxing and different things like that. And it's, even though she did me wrong, I still try to look at it as you live and you learn. That's really all I can say about it, because it's been very, very hard to watch. And I feel really, really bad for the people that she's doing it to. My daughter is gorgeous, but was bullied terribly in middle school and high school. So she joined the Army and is a sergeant now. No one messes with her anymore. Yes, Mrs. Hernandez. Tell your daughter thank you for her service. It was hard. High school was the hardest first 3 years of my life. And then I left and went to the vocational school, and then it was really nice after that. But I had a hard time. And I never did anything to them girls. Nothing. We were all friends in junior high. All of us were friends. Went to high school, and it was like, what happened? You know what I mean? And the bullying just got worse year after year. And finally, my mother had to step in, and it was bad. I'm interested in knowing science behind these things. but I'm boring like that. I love knowing those kind of things too, Jennifer. Emotional intelligence, what some are lacking. Yes, that is also what they put in here too. And I didn't read the rest of the article, but they're talking about emotional intelligence. I want to read that to you guys for a second too. Just so you guys can know. I know you guys are highly intellectual and you guys know, but I just wanted to, because emotional thinking and emotional intelligence are a little bit different. Emotional intelligence, the capacity to be aware of control and express one's emotions and to handle it interpersonal relationships judiciously and empathetically. Okay, so I'm going to open up you too, Sunflower. Oh, thank you, Executive Sessions. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. That's all I can do is touch on my heart because I never thought I would be here. So thank you, guys. I love and adore all of you guys. You guys always make me feel happy. It's been a good day today. We went to everything closes early here. I don't know if you guys have things opening up at normal times in your town, but it's not here. Like the mall closes at 8:00 and it's hard for us because we're on the night shift. So we get up, we get dressed, we're out of here by 7:30. By the time we get to the mall, they're closing. So then we decided to go grocery shopping. And that was fun because I have grown. I don't like Walmart anymore, you guys. Not food wise. I like Giant Eagle. And I know Giant Eagle is mad expensive, but I don't know. I just like Giant Eagle now. I don't like getting food at Walmart anymore. So let me put this up here. You guys know if I shut the camera off, why? Because that little bugger likes to look at himself. Hold on, I'm going to pin it. Dang it. Why does it keep doing that? No. No. Really? Oh, there it is. Okay. Yes. StreamYard is posted. Stop that. I don't know why he likes to do that either, you guys. Go. You're doing that on purpose.
I want some cupcakes.
No, you're not having any cupcakes. I am constantly trying to improve my emotional intelligence, and I'm okay with admitting it. Right. Like, it's, for some people, stop. For some people, it's like a work in progress. You know what I mean? Like, with me, I didn't always use critical thinking. Like I said, my mother dated a cop, so it was kind of instilled in me. But even then, like it's hard to use critical thinking, and not just because it's work, but just because I think we're all kind of programmed to think with our emotions. Does that make sense to you guys? It's very, very hard. Like, if a friend comes to you or you meet someone, it's very, very hard to have to look at them and say, okay, well, let me go do my research on this person. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? I got to go do research on this person because I don't know this person and I don't know what they're like and I don't know what they're capable of. It's it's easy. It's not that easy, but let's read the emotional thinking. Hold on. I just want to read the paragraph. Emotional intelligence, I'm sorry. Okay, so emotional intelligence is most often defined as the ability to perceive, use, understand, and manage emotions. People with high emotional intelligence can recognize their own emotions and those of others, use emotional information to guide thinking and behavior, discern between different feelings, and label them appropriately, and adjust emotions to adapt to environments. Although the term first appeared in 1964, it gained No, you're not getting any more gummies. It gained popularity in 1995, the best-selling book, Emotional Intelligence, which I'll have to look into that. Okay. I got lost there. And although the term first appeared, no, I read that part. Various models have been developed to measure the trait, ability, blah, 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 blah. So basically, you guys get what emotional intelligence is. It's almost like, being able to manage. I feel like being able to balance critical thinking versus emotional thinking, if that makes any kind of sense, Criticisms have centered on whether L is a real intelligence and whether it has incremental validity. Yeah, none of this stuff matters, but you guys get it. What emotional intelligence? And I think that is something that is a work in progress, emotional intelligence. I feel like it's kind of a balance between critical thinking, emotional thinking. But I, like, even with the whole critical case situation, I tried, very, very hard to not do research on her. I say give everyone a chance. And if they do you wrong, walk away. Like the saying goes, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Exactly. That's all I'm trying to say, Panda Bear. That's it. Where'd that comment go? That is all I'm trying to say. And if there's a mistake and things have been done or whatever the situation is, you shouldn't be crucified for it. That's all I'm trying to say. Thank you, Panda Bear. Oh, okay. Heather is here. Hey, Heather.
Hey, Miss Tia, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you, sweetie?
I'm okay, thanks. So, interesting topic.
I know.
I have to say that I am not a critical thinker. I'm not.
That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, but it seems to have gotten me in some hot water. And I understand why, but I do agree that it's not normal for people to be expected to research people that they choose to involve themselves with. I don't do it in real life, so I guess I wouldn't apply it to online.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no. So you know what I mean? I don't do that. I've never met somebody and then been in real life, and then I'm like, I need to investigate this person and see everything they've ever done or been a part of. It's just not natural. So it was not a natural thing for me to feel like I shouldn't have done due diligence online. And by doing that, I've ended up in some real hot water, and it sucks.
Mm-hmm.
It sucks.
Yeah.
And I wish and I know, I don't know, I'm a very empathetic person, and I go off of heart feelings and sometimes more than head feelings. And if, especially, you know, there's certain things that might play on my heart more than yours, or,
Right.
you know, or vice versa. But like, there's just different things, and you just, I don't know. So yeah, unfortunately, I didn't use critical thinking, and now
And
I'm on
that's
the
not,
list.
there's nothing wrong with that though. You do understand that. Like you, to me, you live and you learn, right?
Yeah.
So with me, I learned my lesson from watching Critical K, right? I found out, and literally people were sending me stuff. I didn't listen to them. And then I did my own research and developed my own opinion, right?
Uh-huh.
So I feel like that is the same thing. We all learn lessons in life,
Yeah.
and not everyone critically thinks, and that's okay. And not everyone thinks with emotions, and that's okay too. We are all different, and we all think in different ways. And there is nothing wrong with the fact that you went hard for this specific creator. She did bad things, and now you're not going hard for her anymore.
Yeah.
You don't support her anymore.
Right.
And she may have done bad things even in the past, but you don't always necessarily have to judge somebody by their past. Now, do you?
No. I mean, because I feel like everybody has a past.
Right.
Like,
Everybody.
even, you know, like there is nobody that has clean hands, and, you know, and at some point, like, we have all done shit that we aren't proud of, period. Like, and if anybody says differently, then I'll tell them that they're a big fat liar, because there's always ways, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and move on and improve ourselves. So,
Right.
but yeah, I definitely fucked up, like, you know, by going hard for Chrissy. And I definitely made a huge mistake, you know, not listening to others. And I think it was just something that I had to find out for myself.
Exactly.
And I did. And now, you know, it is what it is. But
and your
now,
apology should be enough. But go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
well, but yeah. So now I just, it does bother me, and it hurts me that people think, like, I don't know, that they have these thoughts about me. And it's like, I don't even understand why it bothers me, because ultimately, like, the only person I have to, like, report to is myself, and maybe my family, and, like, you know, and God ultimately. But, like,
right.
Really, like, in the grand scheme of things, like, these people don't matter. But it does bother me, because I don't know. I just feel like they don't know me, and just as I did not know Chrissy. Like, right. I was sorry, right. I don't know if I'm allowed to say her name, but obviously I'm talking about right. KM. So yeah, I just, yeah, and at what point, like, and I guess my question is like, what are the rules? Like, how far back do you have to research before, you know, supporting someone? And you know what I mean? Because, like, how far back is far enough? Because maybe you go back 6 months and you don't see anything. I mean, let's be real. Chrissy's been known to not save a lot of her stuff.
Right.
So
absolutely. You're right about that too.
So where would I, nor would I know, because I mean, I'm not
channel she had.
Right. And nor would I know, like, the other people. I mean, I vaguely heard about them, but knowing them, like, I wouldn't know who to get. And if, you know, you tend to believe someone if you think they're your friend, And that was stupid for me to think that she was my friend, because it's obvious I don't think she cared about any of her members.
Right.
But now what I feel frustrating for me and I'm really angry about is she's not around and everybody else, you know, has got shit on their face or hands. And it's like, she's just not bearing the brunt of any of this. And that's really frustrating for me.
But here's another thing that I'm not going to let you say. I'm not going to let you say that you're stupid just because you thought she was your friend. I did too. Until I actually sat and started thinking about it. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. Like, she doesn't know anything about me. She's never asked me any questions about myself. She's never even tried to get to know me. So no, she really wasn't a friend. That's okay. Because it's the same, you know, in every situation with people who were friends with her. Maybe she was different with people individually, but for the most part, people that I have spoken to, they said the same exact thing. She never asked me any questions about myself. There was nothing. But so I'm just saying, I'm not going to let you say that you're stupid for that, because you're not. You're human.
I guess, but it's still hard. I know, but I just feel like it makes me sad that I was a cheerleader for somebody that hurt so many people, like so deeply.
Right.
And so that's, I don't know, that's upsetting for me.
But the one thing, you know, that needs to be well known and needs to be fair is the people that she has hurt recently, no way would I ever condone that. It's horrible. However, they have done the same.
Yeah.
So I think you would find, if you actually went back and did research, you probably wouldn't have befriended Chrissy or anybody else, to be honest with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's they've both done damage to each other.
Yeah. Well, and not even
this is more recent, you know?
Yeah.
Sorry. I know I don't like to say anybody's name.
But I do think and find it, you know, because I mean, honestly, these past couple days, I have been like looking into videos and stuff and kind of like going back instead of like looking forward, because I just like, I don't know. I'm just like over analyzing everything in my head now, you know? And it's funny to me that I see the things that I'm being crucified for are the exact same things that other users, I'm not saying creators, and like, for example, like maybe I was, okay, like this was brought up in another person's live, that I was on a panel during KM reading something that was inappropriate. Okay. And you know, and I was cussed out. I was, you know, read and whatever. And I understand people are hurt and angry, and I understand. I really do. But the thing is the thing that they're coming at me for, they have done the exact same thing. They have been on a panel while something was shared that wasn't regarding them. You know what I mean? And so it's just, I just don't, it's like one thing is okay for one person.
Hypocrisy.
Yeah. And one person, it's not okay for the other. And like I said, I just don't know all these rules. And then, you know, people say, oh, well, it's okay to go from live to live. Like, it's okay. But then I listened to a video last night and they were like going off on me again, or pissed off that I was in another creator's live, which I had no idea that creator even, it's just silly. And it's like, oh, it's just frustrating. And it's like, no matter what I say or do, I don't feel like it's going to make a difference to them. I can admit and I can apologize for not thinking clearly. I can apologize for maybe not taking people's warnings. But yeah, like it's hard for me to apologize for something and that was another thing that bothered me, is that people were saying that oh gosh, what was it? I'm trying to think. I'm sorry. I don't know. I'm trying to think where I was going. I'm sorry. Just give me a sec. Talk amongst yourselves.
It's okay. There aren't rules. The fact that creators and subs on YouTube try to act like there are rules you have to live by on YouTube is ridiculous. I agree, Boston. 100%.
I know what I was going to say. And the fact, like, during the live that I decided to go up on somebody else's panel, you know, it was questioned, like, why was I asking for receipts?
Hey, Ella.
And I wasn't asking for receipts to be like, well, you have to prove it to me that I was this vile person. It's that I was asking for receipts because I honestly can't remember. And I was just hoping for some context, because they were saying things that, and maybe me being on panel is bad enough, but I really don't think, you know, that I was, like, for instance, when KM was sharing stuff about KC, is that, or no, CS. See, I can't even keep them all straight. But, you know, like, I don't know. It's really frustrating. And
I think you're being too hard on yourself.
Yeah, maybe I am, but I just want peace. I don't want to, you know, like, I was not asking for receipts, like, in a way to be deflective. It was just that people were saying, we have screenshots and we have recordings of you saying all this horrible, vile shit. And, like, I want to own it, but if I can't reference it or know what you're talking about, how can I own it? Like, otherwise I'm just giving it an apology and it means nothing. Like, I can say, yes, I'm sorry for, you know, supporting her blindly. I'm sorry for not listening to other people. I'm sorry for being on panel when she was doing stuff, but that doesn't always mean that I knew that that's what was going to happen. Not necessarily. There were a lot of other people behind the scenes that had more information that I did. And what I will not apologize for is getting information to docs or anything like that. Like, I don't think that's okay. Like, period. No. Like, I would never do that. I never had any hand in finding information, because it's just not, I don't want to be any part of that. And that's kind of like when I started seeing things differently. You know, it started, like, going back and forth, and, you know, people did make me use critical thinking, and I'm thankful for that, because it helped me see things that I was not seeing so clearly. But I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like I have to answer for everything, but at the same time, I feel like I shouldn't have to answer for everything.
No,
because
at the end of the day, you are a grown woman and you don't owe anybody an explanation for anything that you do, because at some point, every single person that was hard on you has went hard for this creator. I have, you have, a lot of people have, you know, and it is what it is. You know what I mean? To me, I look at it like I am not going to apologize for defending somebody that I thought was being bullied. Now, granted, I haven't recently, but I'm even in the past when I think about it. I'm not going to apologize for that. And I'm not going to apologize for somebody that I thought was a friend and I trusted. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to apologize for that.
And it's nice that you can do that, like look at me that way, because where some people might see it as a weakness, some people, or maybe if somebody was in the position of a person who is being bullied, would be like, damn, that's really endearing of her. Like, she's going hard for this person.
Yeah.
And no matter what people have said, like, you know what I mean? So it just depends, like, how you think of people. And I don't know. It's just been a week, and I am sorry. I'm very sorry for my involvement in any of this. I'm sorry if I hurt people. I am, like, that was not my intentions at all.
And I believe you. I absolutely 100% believe that you are sorry. And sorry is really all that you can say. And to me, nobody, if you owned up to what you think you've done, nobody should ever make you feel like you didn't apologize enough, or because you wanted to see this or you wanted to see that. That's ridiculous. If you owned up to it and you yourself apologize and you mean that, that is all you can do. And you can't be hard on yourself and call yourself stupid because you defended Chrissy and things like that, because that's just ridiculous. Okay, that's just ridiculous. Sorry, I didn't mean to say her name.
No, I appreciate
not trying to, like I said, I understand that this person is hurting, I'm sure, and it doesn't justify anything that she's done.
Nope, not at all.
It does not justify anything. But I will say that if they're both responsible for doing things to each other, you know what I mean? And at the end of the day, I hope and pray that she gets the help that she needs, because she has hurt a lot of people recently, and there's no justification for it. There's nothing you can say. You can't talk about what they've done to you in the past. You can't do that. Right. Because at the end of the day, two wrongs don't make a right. No. You know?
Right.
At some point, you have to know when to let things go. Yeah. And I think that's a lot of what lacks in the YouTube community. Period. Yeah. I feel like a lot of people don't know how to let things go and to just move on and say, you know what? Let them talk about me all they want to. I'm just about to brush off my shoulder, and I'm about to do me. You know what I mean? It's hard for people to do that. I get it, because it's hard for me sometimes. But ultimately, at the end of the day, it's the best thing to do, to be honest with you. It's the best thing that you could ever do for yourself, especially when you are being attacked, as hard as it even was for me in high school when I was being bullied by 20, 30 females, is I just walked with my head held high. Even though I would go home and cry, I never let them see it. I always showed them in some way, shape, or form, I'm not afraid of you guys, and I will stand up for myself. Yeah. I will walk down these halls by myself. I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, I've never done anything to you guys. You guys are only making yourself look stupid. You know, that's how it was in high school. I looked at it like the more they bullied me, eventually any friend that I made, they would try to turn that friend against me. You know what I'm saying? Anybody that I felt like, if it was a boyfriend, they would try to anybody that ever befriended me or was interested in me would they would try to turn against. And for some people, it would work, and for some people, it wouldn't. But ultimately, at the end of the day, people start, because I never let them get to me. At least I showed them, I put up a very, very strong front. Even though I showed them that, eventually people started seeing them for who they truly were.
Right.
Eventually people started saying, wait a minute, why do you hate her? What did
Yeah.
she do to you? And obviously they couldn't say anything. You know what I mean? So
Right.
some people will go with the crowd and they'll believe whatever that person says, and some people won't.
And the thing is, like, what I want to reiterate too is, like, I'm not keeping YouTube score, like, between anybody. So if somebody says, well, how else am I supposed to react? Or, like, I snapped like you would too. Like, and so that they justify their behavior, and then they volley the ball over to the other side, and they're like, well, I dealt with this for this long, and so that's why I did this. And, like, okay, so each side has a point. Like, it's not even about that. It's just about, like, okay, let's all realize that we've made mistakes, own our shit, and move on. Because when we still dwell in that place, like, it's not beneficial to us mentally, emotionally, like, physically, even. It's just, and I know
that's one of the things too. I agree with everything that you're saying. And I just feel like the worst thing that somebody can do to you is if you're taking accountability for your actions, but yet still standing firm by what you believe in. The worst thing that somebody can do to you is make you feel like your apology wasn't good enough. To me, that in itself is a form of bullying. If a person has the courage, okay, to come to the person, even though they have not defended this person recently for the horrible things that she has recently done, but in the past, if a person has the courage to go up on a panel and willing to say, look, I'm sorry, that should be enough.
Yeah.
And to make it seem as though it's not enough is, to me, a form of bullying that person, because you are allowed to ask questions. You are allowed to say, like, what do you mean? Like, what did I say? What screenshots do you have, or whatever? Constantly telling somebody, oh, what are you, crazy? You didn't research this person? And why did you do this? Why did you do that? How it should have went is, I'm sorry. I should never have defended her or went hard for her the way that I did. I regret it. That should have been the end of it. And then it's that person's choice to either accept your apology or not to accept your apology.
And the thing is like,
conversation.
People say like that we were warned. Like, I never got private messages from anybody. They say, well, let's, it doesn't need to be done on a live or this or that, the other thing. Like, nobody ever came to me. And I hate saying sides, because that's just dumb. Like,
there's no sides.
Like, nobody ever came to me and was like, yo, I was in your same situation, and like came at me with kindness or like concern. That never happened from anybody. It was like, oh, well, what I see happening is exactly this person, KM. She's saying that these people are horrible, and I'm seeing them say horrible things about her. So they're showing me that, to a sense, Chrissy was, KM was right. And I'm not saying that's the case. Like, I'm just using it as an example. Like,
right.
Nobody. There were several people in our Discord that left, and like, you know, they were like, well, we left a long time ago. Okay, but did you ever come to me personally and say, hey, maybe you should take a step back? Nobody ever did that. So I just want to put that out there too. Like, I don't know. So people, everybody wants to say woulda, coulda, shoulda, but like, what could you have done differently? Like, was making videos or, you know, doing lives about and making fun of somebody, like, was that productive? No, maybe not. But could you have maybe come to other people and said, hey, like, this is my experience, and all I'm asking you to do is to use critical thinking, like, do some research, you know, and maybe my eyes would have been open sooner.
Right.
Because I'm not an idiot. Like, I know I feel like one right now, but I'm relatively smart. And
I just think I really, really think that you are being too hard on yourself.
Thanks.
I'm
I'm that way
like
with
it.
everything though. That's the way I am in general. Like,
Yeah.
I
You
sometimes
overthink.
guess my
Yeah.
actions, and I'm always wondering, like, if that was the right thing. Did I do the right thing? Should I not have gone over there? Because I felt like it was doing the right thing, but then I go and watch the live the next night and people are still making fun of me and, you know, dragging me or whatever. Like, it's so, I mean, ultimately I feel right about what I did. I mean, as far as going into the, you know, muddy waters, but I felt like it was something I needed to do, and I'm glad I did it. But I just want that to be it. Like, I don't want to keep going on and on and on about this, because that's just giving her more of my energy, and I've already given her way too much as it is. I'm talking about KM. Like, I don't want to give her any more of my energy. I don't. She doesn't deserve it. I'm sorry for what has happened to her. I definitely think, you know, I feel for her. I do. But that does not excuse the shit she did with Savage. It does not excuse that. It does not excuse her sharing Paige's personal financials. Like, it does not, it's not okay. And you know, and I'm sorry for everything that's happened to her kid. Like, no mother should ever deal with that. But, you know, it's just this whole, like, past 2 weeks has just been a flipping nightmare. And I just want to wake up to the nightmare.
Prayers go out to, you know, the people that she did that to, and then somebody I guess she accidentally did that to. Like, it's not right. And it's all because of who they choose to hang around with, and that's not right. Like, the whole situation of her doing that, I was in shock. You know what I'm saying? Because if you've ever listened to that certain creator, which you have, you've been on her panels, you know how she is, you've defended her, I have, we all have. She always has said she never doxed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And even if she had in the past and she was lying or whatever, it's been done to her. And to actually see her do something like that,
it's disappointing.
It's so horrible. Like, there's no excuse for it. And my heart and prayers go out to everyone that she did that to, because there's no, and that's what I'm saying. Your apology should be enough. This is how I look at it. I met her. I thought she was cool. And to be honest with you, this creator is the reason why I met some of the people that I met. And they've all defended her. They've all went hard for her the same way that I have. She was a friend, or at least I thought she was. And finally I realized that she wasn't. She did some dirty shit to me. And then I'm sitting back watching all the things that she's done. You are not responsible for other people's actions, okay?
Yeah.
You're just not. And I am not going to tell any supporter, okay, anybody who chooses support, because I am definitely going to be doing a live about this, because I don't know what people be thinking, okay? But yes, you creators may be public figures, but YouTubers are not celebrities. I would never ever look at myself as a celebrity, nor do I look at any other YouTube creator as a celebrity. Even my favorite YouTube creators, they're not celebrities. Okay. That's a whole new different ball game. Okay. That's why I technically don't like the word fan when people say it. I don't like say, oh, don't say that, but I feel like
I
fans
mean,
are celebrities.
Charlie DeMilo was on Celebrity Family Feud. That's all I'm gonna
Well,
say.
she shouldn't have been. She shouldn't have been. But
guys, like I just want to have fun. Like,
but what I was saying is that I will not apologize, like I said, because I've met somebody, thought she was a friend, and I went hard and defended her. And you definitely are one of the main ones who went hard for this creator. You did. And that's okay. You went hard for her at the time. It's over now. You're not going hard for her anymore after what you've seen her done. And in no way, shape, or form should you feel, or should anyone make you feel like your apology is not enough.
Thanks, girl.
No matter what questions that you ask, the only reason why you're asking questions is because these people are constantly making you feel bad because you chose to defend this particular creator. So if they're asking you questions, then of course you're going to say, well, or telling you to apologize for this, apologize for that. No, you apologize and that's it.
Thanks, girl. That means
and
a
if
lot.
they don't believe you, if they don't believe you, then that means they don't accept your apology, and that's okay. You go do your own thing, they go do their own thing, right?
Yeah. Nicole, I see your comment.
Apology, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. You know, they should, because they've all done it and been there.
Yeah.
Okay. Done the same thing that creator has recently done. And they've all defended that creator back months ago.
And I hope going forward that I have learned something. Like, I mean, I'm going to try to do more diligence. Like, I'm gonna, you know, try to, and I don't want to even say align myself with good people, because like, I know I'm a good person and I still make mistakes. So, you know, just maybe try to use a little bit more critical thinking and not think so much with my heart, and just, you know, I mean, go from there. Like,
hold on 1 second. I don't understand what you mean, Rain Baby. It wasn't just about defending her for some people, though. What else? I want to know what else. If there was something else that I'm missing.
Also,
because an apology is all she can do, no matter what the situation is. That's an apology is all that she can say. So I'm not understanding what you're meaning by that. So you're gonna have to elaborate just a little bit so I can understand what you mean, sweetie.
Or maybe she.
Thank you, Punky. What'd you say?
I said your hair is fire. I love that red.
Thank you. I don't understand what she means. I'm not saying that against anyone here. Oh.
But I do have a question though, because if I remember correctly, Punky said that you don't trust me. You still don't trust me. And I don't understand why. Because what's funny to me is there are people, yes, I went hard in as far as like being on panel a lot, but there were far more people behind the scenes doing way more toxic stuff and saying and being a part of more toxic stuff than I ever did. And that's 100% the truth. Thanks, Nicole. I appreciate you saying that.
Okay, let me find it, Goose. There's a comment that Goose wants me to.
Oh, I read it from Nicole.
Yes, if anyone knows how to tag Heather on panel, please let her know that I just had an interaction with someone on YouTube regarding critical thinking. Lack of critical thinking isn't necessarily intentional. I agree.
Thanks. I appreciate that's super sweet, and I really appreciate that. And it wasn't intentional at all. Like I don't know.
Right. I know. And that's what I'm saying. Don't be hard on yourself. You apologized, and that's enough. And that should be enough. And if it's not enough, then, it's unfortunate that they wouldn't accept your apology. You know what I mean? Because to me, from what I listened to a little bit of time, your apology seemed genuine to me. And I do believe that you feel really bad, and to me, I think you should feel bad for the people that this creator has doxxed.
Yeah.
But I don't think you should feel like you have to apologize for defending somebody that you thought,
Yeah. And what gets me too is like, I mean, I'm just going to say it one more time. Like, everybody knows that I had feelings about Savage.
I get what you're saying.
And there was nothing like, I had my opinion and I had expressed my opinion. I didn't try to make a secret about it. I was, outspoken about it. But I did, and when I saw what they had put up, whoever did the $2 hose or $2 hose or whatever
stupid channel was.
Yeah. Like, I even said to other girls, I'm like, I don't care. Like, even if I don't agree with like the type of friend maybe I saw Savage being, like, not, she doesn't even deserve that shit. And that is the honest to God's truth. And, and I still
let on stream. Hold on.
And I still feel that way.
Hi.
Hello.
First of all, I come in peace, and I also come with an apology.
Okay.
So,
hey,
Heather, this is to you, Heather. Hi, honey. Listen, I want to apologize. I don't know if you caught last night. I
did.
Was under some confusion that I am taking responsibility for right away. If I could have reached out to you in some other way, I would have. I tried writing Boston. She did not write me back, and I am not mad at Boston for that. So don't think that, Boston. The only way I was able to reach out to anybody was through TikTok. And so I couldn't get a hold of you guys, and otherwise I would have apologized earlier. But here's proof of the fact that I wasn't taking any sides. Okay. I saw what brought me to say what I did last night, and it was wrong. Okay. But what brought me to say what I did last night is the fact that I had seen the TM video live after you and I and Boston and Goose had spoke on panel on the other creator. Then I had went over to the other creators, which I don't even know them. I don't even know them, honestly.
I don't either.
I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. And then I saw you in there, and Jay Money and I were watching it together, and we were just like, because we do that. She live streams it on her like computer on her phone, and then I watch it through her phone, and we just talk. Yeah.
Sure.
And we kind of felt alone when we left. You know what I mean? Like, we just were like kind of the Lone Rangers, Sure. But regardless, I guess for me, you were silent when it was brought up that supposedly KM had went into that live. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Why are we rubbing elbows when you guys are so scared of her? Like, I was so confused. I was so confused on the whole thing. And then I did verify, thank God, I did do this right. I did verify with the creator that you were on her live the other night. I did verify first in the chat to say, was KM really in that live? And they said no. I was like, oh, okay, that explains some things. But what it was for me is when you were asking for the receipts and stuff, it was more so, and I know Jenny agrees with this too, and I can speak for her on this. I know I can. She's asleep, I think, but maybe she's not. But she, we both were like, don't ask for these because you don't need them. Like, your apology should be enough. And
Right.
like what Boston said when she was like taking accountability, Goose took accountability. I mean, I know that when I watched the replay, because as you guys know, I came in late. I was late in
Right.
the game, so I didn't see all the heated conversations, and I'm not speaking for them and their feelings and all that stuff. I can't, obviously. But that,
Sure.
again, that's where I don't take sides, and that's on them. That's what they feel about you and so forth. But for me, it was all over again traumatizing, I think, because when I did leave, I did act on emotion, and I blocked everybody. I was like, you know what? None of them care. They just care about her. They just care about the creator. Apparently they don't care about me. And it wasn't like, I guess it was a pity trip in a way, but it was also like, I thought you guys were my friends. And I really thought that, I just wanted you guys out of there because I knew what was gonna happen. And it, like I told you the other night, it wasn't that I feel like I took home the gold. And when you just mentioned up here earlier, that some people left before you, and that, that's not for me. I can speak for myself, and I know Jenny feels this way. We don't feel that way, that because you guys didn't leave sooner. And I also want to point out that I know for a fact you guys weren't part of that stuff that has went on this past, week? I don't know.
2 weeks.
The heinous stuff that has went on.
No,
I
absolutely not.
really felt in my heart that you 3 girls were not involved in that. I really just felt that in my heart, just based on getting to know you guys through the Discord of her Discord. So I just simply wanted to say I was sorry, but it was more of a, and it didn't come out this way, and I know it, and that's why I wanted to say I was sorry. It was more of a protection thing, like Heather, just stop asking for receipts. Like, just say you're sorry and be done with it. Like, don't just say I'm sorry for what I've done to hurt people and the things I've done to hurt people, and just like be done. Like, you don't have to over explain your apology. You know what I mean? Like, because you don't owe it that much. Like, you supported her like we all did. And I said I was sorry when I first left and everything, but like, if that wasn't enough, then too bad, and now there are some people that were involved in this stuff, that were involved in this past week. Like, I think you know who I'm talking about, probably, that has not had the courage, and this is her own words, had the courage to come up on panel and really say much. And that's who I think everybody is really, they're concerned with the people that have been involved in this past week stuff. But I also don't want to speak for anybody except for myself.
Sure.
I am truly sorry, but you are being too hard on yourself, Heather. You really are.
Well, that, you have no idea. Like, my eyes were welling up with tears when you first came on, because like, that really means a lot. Because I honestly, like, when I don't know, like, I had messaged you on, because I didn't go to the live last night. I watched it today, and I'm like, so now, like, I thought we were good.
Yeah.
And then
I did too. And that's, I go, I'm sorry. I didn't interrupt you.
It's okay. No, it's fine. But like, I just felt like I had to explain myself all over again. And like, me asking for receipts was in no way, I swear to you, it was in no way to be disrespectful or to like,
no, I didn't think so either. I didn't think it was disrespectful. I thought it was unnecessary. I'm speaking like for you, I'm saying you didn't need to do that. Like, you didn't need to do that. It should have been enough. And if it wasn't, like Tia said, and hi Tia, by the way, thank you for having me up, hon. But it should have been enough, and you shouldn't have to have. And what made it look less sincere, I think, to people, was the fact that you did like keep asking for that stuff. Where if you just would have just said, you know what, I take accountability and I'm sorry for supporting someone that I thought was a good person, blah blah blah,
but see, that's the thing now.
And you're absolutely right.
Doing that, but she was doing that though. from what I heard, she was trying to apologize and take accountability, but yet she kept being basically blamed.
for
Like, you did
instance,
this, you did that, or are you going to apologize for this? And then that's when she's like, okay, what's the screenshot for that? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah,
like,
no, I do. I
Natty,
do.
if you saw it, like, people went hard at me, and I didn't
Yeah.
have to go there, and it's fine, and I understand why they did it,
And they went
like,
hard at Goose too. Yeah, yeah. Hi, Goose.
yeah, right. But
Yeah.
you know who they didn't go hard at?
The actual
I'm
mod.
gonna say, yeah, the mods that were responsible for half the shit that they were really pissed off about.
Yeah,
Well,
none of us were mods yet. Like,
And I could
people still
be,
think we
yeah,
were.
and people thought you were mods, exactly. And see, like, Jenny and I knew that. We knew you weren't, but at the same time, I didn't have like ultimate proof of who was modding in the Discord that did exist, what new one was current. I didn't know what was going on. So I didn't pretend to know, and I wish I could have spoken on you guys' behalf more.
No,
Because if I would have had that proof to be able to, because everybody wants receipts. So if I would have just said, well, I know for a fact they didn't do this, then they would have said, well, where's the receipts? And I didn't have them. So that's why I just thought, you know what, they're on their own on this. But I just wanted to let you know personally that I am sorry. I just felt, like you said,
Girl.
you felt when we left that live that we had all three we were good. And we were always, it wasn't that we were never good. It's the fact that
we lost touch.
I literally cried so hard that you guys were still in there because of everything that you guys have been through. I cried so hard. Like, I remember Jenny and I both just being so beside ourselves because we're like, they just keep getting sucked in more and more and more. And it just was so sad. Like, we just wanted you guys to just be like, no, this isn't right. You know what I mean? And not because we were better or nothing. It was because we cared about you guys. I really mean that. Like, I really mean that.
I believe you. I'm sorry that you're so like upset, and I'm super touched. Like, you have no idea. And just you coming here tonight, dude, like, that just means the world to me. Like, it really does, because
well, I had to apologize.
like
I said, I don't take sides, and I was trying to also prove that, like, and there was no side by me being up on that panel over there. It was nothing, or being on the magical panel. Like, I love magical. It's just that it's and everybody's been kind to me for the most part, that in the community, but I don't trust anybody. I'm sorry. It's they have to, it's I got to know you guys. That's who Jenny and I got to know the most, was you guys in the Discord before
none of us
Cam started making it all about her. Right. Before she started making it all about her, it was, and then when I saw that everybody was starting to run toward that, I just personally, my mental capacity just wasn't there, because I hadn't heard from my daughter in several months. I was just, I was going through my own stuff. So I pulled away for my own reasons. But I wanted to take all of you and grab you and take you with me. Sherry, another one, again, like I had said the other night. And I did, because you said, I wish somebody would have tried to reach out to me. That's what I wanted to tell you too, girl, is that if I could have reached you somehow, I would have tried. But I couldn't find you, and I wasn't going to obviously dox you, as everybody keeps saying.
But
I hate that word. I'm so sick of it.
Too. Like, something I note, and I'm not upset. Like, I'm so glad we're having this discussion. But like that, you mentioned, like, there's how many other platforms? Okay, but are you Natty Joe on Facebook? Like, do you know how many Natty Joes there probably are? Like, I'm not Heather Disney.
What I was saying is, you guys could have said in like a private. All I meant by that, and I'm just being honest, because you mentioned it, is that you
Uh-huh.
guys could have messaged each other within the Discord that you were in, and privately messaged Boston, for instance, and said, hey, is there another way I can reach you outside of here so that we can talk?
Yeah.
Because that's what Jenny and I did, frankly. That's what we did.
Yeah.
We said, hey, how can I find you outside of here, because we need to talk. And so that's all I meant, was just that there's so many other private messaging apps and on Instagram and Twitter and all these different platforms that you could have reached out to each other on. And it was just, I just hate that you guys had to feel like you had to stay in there in order to keep in touch with each other. That's because
that's part of it, but the other part for me, literally at the end, which was also stupid, but like I was kind of fearful. Like I had shared personal information, which KM herself had told us to not do. And it's like, okay, so she's like, make sure you don't, she told us to all get VPNs, like all of this stuff, and to never use our real names. And
little did you know it would have to be to keep from getting,
by her.
Yeah.
Right.
That was the other thing too, was when you were like, at the end of the other panel the other night, you said, do you feel like we're going to get, that she's going to come after us? And it's like Tia was touching on earlier, the high school bullying and so forth that she went through. She never let them see her sweat. And I think that's the biggest thing with these bullies, is you can't let them see you sweat. Even if you feel that way, you can talk to your friends that you do trust about it. And you can, Jenny talked to me about it. She was afraid to leave the Discord because she left after me. She was afraid. And I kept saying, girl, it's okay. But you can't let the person that is bullying you see you sweat. Even if you are afraid of them, you can't let them see it, because they love that. They love that. Would you agree, Tia, or am I speaking out of turn?
Oh, no, I know from my own high school experience that that's the case. The more you let them, give them the reaction that they were anticipating or hoping for, the more they're going to do it, because you're giving them exactly what they want. You're letting them know that what they're doing is hurtful, and it's, and it's,
like you were, and I've done this too. It's not critical. It's not critical. I promise you, because you guys went through a lot longer than what Jenny and I did. You know what I mean? You guys went through a lot more stuff. You heard a lot more, you went through a lot more. And you were exposed to her a lot more than what we were. So I understand. It was just making me cringe when I say cringe, I don't mean like, oh, you make me cringe, Heather. It was making me cringe in a, like in an empathetic way, like, oh my gosh, girl, please stop saying this, because she loves this. She's loving this right now, that you're afraid and that you are worried that she's going to do something. Like, don't let her see you sweat. That was the whole thing, like I just cared, and
and I appreciate that. And I really do hope that, like, I know you said you were kind of like gun shy too, but I hope you find me on Discord, because my Discord name is the same.
Well, the problem is but you gave it to me, but the problem was that you and I both have admitted that we are not good with Discord, and Jenny's the only one that helped me. That's how she was able to create her own Discord channel, was because she's the one that told me. If she wouldn't have told me that was available to do, I wouldn't have known that either, girl. But here's the thing, is I had forgot when I screenshotted the other night, and I asked the girl, the lady, that in the other creator, that we were on her panel. I said, do you mind if I screenshot? And I kind of laughed, but she's like, of course not. But what Jenny reminded me of is, she goes, Natty, you have to have the other 4-digit, you have to have that 4-digit number that goes after their name. So I did send that message to Boston on TikTok. I sent her Jenny and I's actual full Discord names, so that way you guys can find us. And again, I didn't hear back from Boston, but I didn't know, maybe she doesn't get notifications on TikTok, maybe she doesn't check them, maybe she didn't want to reach out. I didn't know what her reason was, and I'm not looking at the chat because I can't multitask on here, unfortunately. But but yeah, so that there is a way, to reach us, and we wanted to talk to you guys just because we were in there with you guys, not at the
Yeah.
end, no, not through the really, really, really tough times. No, we weren't there, but we just kind of wanted to be a support, but
Yeah.
I spoke out of turn last night, and I'm very sorry. I
Oh,
thought
girl.
I thought I saw you basically supporting like what
And I can see why
a
you
couple
felt
of the
that
other
way.
what a couple of the other people that still were like they created these sock names, the sock names themselves, like the actual socks like that you put on your
Yeah.
feet. I
Uh-huh.
thought you were still kind of support, like playing both sides, and when I say sides, I don't mean
Right.
the
I know what
sides
you
in
mean.
the manner in which people talk. I mean, like, I thought you were like condoning, and I'm like, wait a minute,
Nelly, hold on one second.
yeah.
Nelly, thank you so much. I genuinely appreciate that. I love you. Thank you. Okay, go ahead.
Huh. But girl,
No,
Natty, for real, like no need to apologize anymore. Like I'm so glad you came here and I'm so glad we could talk about it and all like it's
yeah, I
nothing
didn't
you
mean to
could
come take over the
given.
live or anything. I just
No,
like
I'm glad you did because
I was
honestly,
like,
like
oh my
that
gosh,
was
I
the way.
hope that Boston and Heather come in there because I subscribed to your channel, Tia, and I was like, oh my gosh, I
Thank
hope
you.
that those girls come in there because I wanted to. That was the first thing I wanted to do was apologize. Like that
I
was the first
I
thing I wanted to do.
appreciate you so much. You have no idea because that was heavy on my heart. Like when I was
I
watching
don't
it
blame you.
tonight. And I was just like, man, like now Natty still thinks I'm an asshole and like, what the heck, And so
No,
I was trying
no.
to be like,
It's not that. Like it's not that.
I,
It just, I mean, like I said, I got confused, and there was a lot of people saying a lot of
it's
different
all
things,
good.
and I was
It's
just
fine.
there was
Water under the
flip-flopping of
bridge.
all kinds of different stuff
I
on
know.
different
But
lives.
to
I mean,
speak on that, truly, I don't know, like, I don't know the other people. Um,
and
the
that's what see, and I did a little more only because I've watched those lives, and that's why I was saying like that's the only reason I was saying, oh gosh,
yeah,
please stop asking for receipts because it's just like just say you're sorry, like just say you're sorry and be done, because I was saying that for your
But there
benefit
was a
because I
reason
was like,
why she
no,
did that, though.
and I
Yeah.
do understand that side, and I guess it was just more of like, I think less is more when it comes to those, to that particular group of
right.
people. And it wasn't, again, I'm not attacking them. There have been a lot of nice people over there that have been very nice to me. I'm not, again, it's not a side thing. It's just
Right.
that I wanted to speak on what I personally thought of the situation between you and me, Heather, and between my thoughts about the situation that I felt happened,
Sure.
when
Thank
I
you,
watched
Dorothy.
the other live. So that's all. But I wanted to let you guys know
Girl.
that, and I also wanted to let Boston know I did reach out and send her that message. So
Well, thanks again so much. And
And
it
thank you for
really
coming up. I
means
appreciate that.
so much. You have no idea. Like, it means so much. It really does.
I had a feeling that it might, because I know it would for me, and I wanted to, I always say, there's people, other creator that we happen to know together, always says that she owns her shit, and she doesn't. So but I do. When I know I'm wrong, I own it, and I'm owning it. So I truly apologize for
Thank
jumping
you
the gun
so
like that.
much.
I appreciate that. Really, Nat. You are welcome here. I hope you know that. And
Thank
it's not
you.
about sides at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's about, doing what's right. And you're not, nobody here is responsible for that creator's actions. And
Yeah.
that's all we can do is apologize. And not everybody, just because you're up on a panel with somebody and they're doing whatever doesn't mean you're co-signing on that. And obviously the people who are saying those things have done the same exact thing. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's called empathy.
Well,
And
yeah, and in hindsight, really, it does suck sometimes because, man, you look back and you're like, why did I ever do that, or why
right.
did I ever say that? And like even just what I said last night. I mean, it ate at me all day. I felt terrible, and I was like, gosh, wish I could reach out to Heather, and I can't.
Mhm.
I don't have any way of getting a hold of her. You know what I mean? So because
Mhm.
I had your name, but I didn't have those last four, of your thing.
Yeah.
So I was like, I had no way to reach you. So I was like, oh my gosh, like I hope somewhere down the line here soon I can catch her to where I can apologize. So and
Right.
I didn't want to put it in a text in the form of a chat because things can get, taken out of context. And I wanted to just come up and say it. So
Thank
Yeah.
you.
you're
Yes. Thank you
welcome.
so much. You have a good
No,
night.
thank you.
Enjoy the rest of your
Thank
weekend.
you for forgiving it. I appreciate it very
Oh
much.
my
Thank you
gosh.
for coming up, sweetie.
Don't
Yeah,
even.
no problem. I'll be
You're
in the chat,
welcome.
guys.
Thank
right.
you. Bye bye. You see, don't be so hard on yourself, okay?
Girl, that
It
made me
is what
feel
it is.
so good.
Good. See?
Like it really did. Like I was feeling really freaking down today. Like
Yeah. I'm so happy. I'm happy that we did this.
me too.
I'm proud of you for coming up here, and just like I said, your apology is enough.
Thanks, girl.
You
Thanks
do
for
not
giving
have
me.
to explain yourself anymore. Either people are going to accept your apology or they're not. And that's on them, not you. You did your
Thanks.
part. Okay?
Okay. Thanks, Mama Tia.
Yeah.
Thanks for giving me a soft place to land. Like I appreciate you letting me come up,
I
and I
appreciate you coming
appreciate
up.
Vic. Like it's obviously well needed. But all
Yes.
right. I'm gonna hop back down to the lobby.
Okay.
All right, bye, Mama.
Bye bye. All right, you guys. So, we're going to wrap this up because it's late, and I'm glad that we did this. Well put, Boston. The good parts is there are many creators where many of the same people visit, so those friendships can be continued in real safe spaces. Let me just catch up on the comments really quickly. You guys are awesome. And that's really what I wanted to say. I wanted to be able to, kind of show you guys. Obviously, we all know you're highly intelligent people. We all know what critical thinking and emotional thinking is. And what I want to be able to convey to all of you is not everybody uses critical thinking. Okay. Should it be encouraged? Yes. Is it important? Yes. It's obviously an important part of life, but it's nothing for you to, aw, that's wonderful, Charlie Ann. I'm so happy that you feel that way. But we all are capable of critical thinking, and critical thinking is a very important part of life. And I think sometimes we learn as we go. We live and we learn, and we've all said bad things, but we've said bad things about each other, and there is nothing wrong with defending a friend. There's nothing wrong with that. And I don't feel that's why I personally will not apologize, because to me, like I said, and I'll say it again, I thought she was a friend. She wasn't and never was. And I learned that. And at the end of the day, I don't condone what she's doing. I am 100% against doxing from both sides of the table. And it's horrible. It's horrible. And my heart goes out to anybody who's been in that situation, because it is not a great place to be in. And I don't condone it. That's all there is to it. And I don't think that anybody should feel bad or feel, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do this live because I feel like some people, a lot of people, you know, put others down because they don't think the way that you do. I have a problem with that because not everybody thinks the same. Not everybody thinks with critical thinking. Not everybody thinks with emotional thinking. You shouldn't put down others' ways of thinking. People think the way that they think and they choose what they choose, and you live and you learn. And if you haven't learned from it, well, then that's going to be a problem. So let's just put it this way. If anybody chose to go and support this creator again, well, guess what? You're going to get what you deserve, right? Because we already know what this specific creator who recently doxed is about, right? So then you're going to get what you deserve the next time you choose. You know, we're all forgiving. We can all forgive, but you don't forget. And you go through life learning lessons. And in no way in hell should anybody feel bad for defending a person that they thought was a friend. And nobody should make another person feel bad, especially when they've done the same exact thing and has been in the same exact spot that the person apologizing has been in. You know, it's called empathy, and you have to think about, wait, I was there. I've done this. I'm not going to sit here and make this person feel continuously, put this person down. You know, she gets off panel, people are talking about this person. Her apology wasn't good enough. She didn't mean it, blah, 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 blah. All of that is bullshit. You've said, if you apologize, if you said bad things, you apologize for that. I've even went at it with Heather, okay, over this creator. I went at it with her. She came at me for an opinion. So I understand that this person has definitely went the hardest for this creator. So it's understandable how maybe there have been other people who have felt hurt by her. But again, her apology should be enough. And you should never, ever make a person feel bad for apologizing. You just shouldn't. If either you accept it or you don't. It's that simple. Not everybody has that kind of courage to come up on panels, you know. And I wanted to do this live just to let people know, don't feel bad just because you don't critically think. It's definitely something that should be practiced. I definitely learned the hard way. You know, some people learn the hard way. Some people don't. You know what I mean? And that's why you're not getting I'm not asking for anybody's forgiveness, because I chose to trust somebody that I trusted way before I ever met anybody else. And whether that person was manipulative or she wasn't, I'm still not apologizing to nobody, because I'm not going to apologize for trusting somebody that I thought was telling me the truth and had my best interest at heart. She didn't. And, you know, I learned the hard way, and that it is what it is. And usually with me, you know, I do try to be a straight shooter. I definitely will admit as a human being that I make mistakes just like everyone else. And sometimes, because I am very no nonsense, I'm not going to lie and say that communication isn't a problem of mine. You know, it's definitely something that I need to work on. You know, I work on it every single day, because communication is something that, I don't know, it's something that it's always been hard for me. Like, I'm that type of person where if I'm mad at my fiance, instead of talking to him about it, I will, like, say he does something that I see that makes me mad. Like, it really, really makes me mad when he leaves his shaving kit in the bathroom. Okay, let's put it that way. I don't like it. It makes me mad. And I tell him over and over again, you're making my job harder. You're making my job. But he still does it. So every time that I go into the bathroom and I see it, I'll get frustrated. And then I'll walk around the house being mad. And he'll be like, babe, what's wrong? Nothing. Babe, what's wrong? Nothing. Babe, what's wrong? Nothing. And then finally, he'll do something really, really, like really small, and I will just blow up. You did this, you did that, you did this. And that's not good. It's better to communicate with him and say, look, do I have to tell you again not to leave your shaving kit in the on the bathroom sink? It's easier to do it that way, but instead I will walk around with all of this anger building up, building up, building up, and then finally I will blow, right? That's not good. I am 100% guilty of that, and I'm working on it. I'm working on it because I am definitely that type of person where I'm no nonsense. And if I feel like I'm being set up in any way or people are talking behind my back in any way, block. That's it. But at least I'm an adult enough to say these are things that I need to work on, right? And then I look at it like there are with some people who, you know, text messaging me and telling me that me and this other creator are too old to be, you know, doing all this stuff. And then I have to tell her, you know, you're only as old as you feel and look. So you probably should take a look in the mirror, right? But that's another story. But regardless, there are some people that are not worth communicating with, right? Because you just know by the things that you have seen them do that why in the hell would I communicate with that person? You know by proof the things that you have seen, telling people to do this, telling people to do that, unsubscribe from Tia, do this, do that, then that you see that blatantly, then that's when you know why the fuck would I communicate with her? I have nothing to say, you know? So it's all about deciphering, you know, which is which. But like I said, we all go by things in life. We all have things that about ourselves that we want to change within ourselves. And I will tell you fucking right now that it is okay that you may not use critical thinking. I encourage it. That's one part of critical K that I will agree with. Critical thinking is important. It is important to do your due diligence. It is important to do research. Okay. But I am not going to sit here and tell people that if you find a supporter that you like, sometimes the past is in the past. It's up to you as the individual, as the supporter, to decide whether their past is something that you see them doing now, in the now, right? If their past is something like you look at them and you say, they haven't changed, or their past is their past and you could see growth and you can see that this person is trying to change. That's with everybody. Everybody, to me, you know, depending upon the situation, but I feel like most people, we're all human. We make mistakes. Everybody deserves a second chance. So I just feel that it is important to encourage critical thinking, but there is nothing wrong with acting on your emotions. In no way should anybody feel as though you are a horrible person because you acted on emotion instead of critically thinking. And that's basically it. You know, you literally do what it is that you feel is right and be a good person, right? Do the best that you can and just know that, you know, your apology is enough. If you have enough courage to put yourself out there and apologize to somebody, if they make you feel like shit about it, well, then that person is just not worth apologizing to, right? And it's not that I'm just this person, you know, oh, you know, I'm too proud. I will certainly apologize when I feel that it's needed. You know what I mean? Like, I have no problem apologizing to people. But I'm not going to apologize for defending somebody that I thought was a friend. And the things that she's doing now is completely horrible, and I don't defend it, and that's the end of the story. And my heart and prayers go out to the people that she has doxed, the people that she accidentally doxed. Definitely she's not a person that is using her brain at all. And any critical thinking, emotional thinking, nothing. Like, just to do something like that, it's horrible. So I'm going to read a couple comments. Sometimes you can learn those lessons the hard way. I missed a lot of the conversation tonight, but you are all amazing people, and I don't think you'd ever intentionally support bad behavior. Life is about growth and learning lessons. Amen, Jennifer. It's all about growth. We all live and we learn. By the way, my name is TT is Natty Joe, just like it is on here, in case anyone wants to know. Thank you for telling us that, sweetie. I honestly think that everybody is constantly working on communicating. I'm so horrible with it. I'm not going to lie. Like, I can be, yeah, I'm getting better. But let me tell you, I got a lot to learn about communication. And I don't know why I'm like that. Like, you should never, ever let yourself build up so much anger. Like, when you feel a certain way, you need to reach out to that person and tell them how you feel. And sometimes, obviously, it's just easier not to. But if you don't, all that's going to happen, especially if you really care about that person, it's just going to build and build and build and build and build. And you're going to be more mad than when you started, if that makes any sense. Empathy and care and understanding are needed to actually forgive somebody. I agree, Sunflower. There's no way anyone could support what recently happened, endangering many innocent people, their jobs and children. There's no looking past that this time. Exactly. I agree, Melissa. As someone who is going through ongoing stalking, both cyber, real life, for over 11 years, doxing is an important word that everyone needs to understand. Amen, Nicole. You are so right. And I am so sorry for what you're going through. If you need me, you can reach out to me anytime. It's obvious that a lot of people don't have empathy. That's unfortunate. Yep, it is very unfortunate. I'm pretty caught up on comments. She already is, Donna. Yeah, I think she'll be back under new name and channel. Yeah, I seen that today. Oops, didn't mean to wave hi. Just wanted to clap. It's okay, sweetie. I know what you meant. And yes, Rain Baby, you're right. We should all be ourselves. And just for the record, Rain Baby, I do understand what you said on that other creator's channel. I do understand that people are hurt. But again, people apologize to them. And that should be enough. There is no other way around it. Period. Okay. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope that you learned a thing or two from my live. I hope it encouraged you to either think more emotionally or think more critically, whatever. Try to find a balance between the two. But I absolutely adore each and every one of you. And I am so grateful to have you guys. Finally got a community tab, so I will definitely be, uploading on there. I did upload, and I was, I don't want my fiance to have to get in trouble now, because he can't be having our child out too late with him. He better be getting home soon. Otherwise, I will communicate to him that you're in trouble. Okay? That's what I'll communicate. That is where my communication will get very, very blatantly obvious. Because let me tell you right now, if I came running in here, when I go out, if I came running in here at a late time, trust me, he would communicate that to me too, right? You're so yes, I'm sure they're having fun, but I'm just saying, you better be walking through that door within the next hour, or he's not going to like what his soon-to-be wife has to say. But I love you, Heather. Thank you so much, beauty. Thank you to all my beauties for being here. I hope that this live was fun for you guys, even though it's really late, but this is what I do. I don't know what time it is For anybody else, you can put the times if you want to. But it is 4:00 here. So, but I stay up late. People apologizing, fine, but that doesn't free them from hearing the impact they had on another person when they did their shady actions. No, I disagree. If a person genuinely comes up on somebody's panel and apologizes, that should be enough. Period. Either that or take it out on the person who actually did it. It's that simple. It is not that difficult to understand. It's really not. So a person comes to apologize, okay? Genuinely apologizes. And then you feel that they should sit and listen to what they've done because of what another person did. No, I don't agree with that, but I guess everyone is entitled to their own opinion. Defending somebody that you feel is a friend is something that a lot of people do, right? Like what you're doing. So if somebody apologizes, you're telling me that their apology is not enough and they're supposed to actually sit there and listen to all of the effects or whatever that changed their life because of them choosing to defend a friend. Yeah, I disagree. You can sit there and make somebody feel sorry. That's just like if me as a person, if somebody did something bad to me, if they came and apologized, I might say, you have no idea how much that hurt me. You really did hurt me. You really did do this and you really did do that. And then I choose to accept their apology or I don't. It's that simple. I don't agree. But that's life. Not everybody agrees. Yeah, I don't go to bed until like late. But yeah, I hope you guys had an amazing night with me. I always enjoy my time that I spend with you guys. Thank you for the super chats. You guys are amazing. And yes, I don't agree with that, but I respect the fact that other people have an opinion. But if I go to apologize to somebody, they can definitely tell me how I made them feel, and either they choose to accept it. And if you choose to accept that apology, then you move on. That's just like if, oh shit, I don't want to use that example. Let me use a friend. Let's just say a friend is with her husband or her boyfriend, and he maybe cheated on her. She can choose, he comes back or whatever, she can choose to forgive him, okay? And if she forgives him, she can let him know, it's going to take me a long time to trust you again. This is how it's going to be from now on because you hurt me. You made me feel horrible. You did this. You have no idea how your actions affected me. And either she's going to obviously accept his apology and move on with him. However, if she accepts his apology and moves on with him, she's not going to be constantly throwing that up in his face. Then that defeats the whole, why would you forgive him then? To forgive somebody, you have to move on from the past. You have to move on from even the way that they made you feel. You obviously let them know, look, you did this to me and this is how it's going to be. And it's going to take a long time for me to trust you. And either you choose to move on or you don't. But in no way, shape, or form, if you choose to move on with that person who cheated on you, should you continue to punish them after you already apologized to them. It's that simple. It really is. Anyway, I'm gonna go. I've had enough. Oh, I'm sorry I didn't see that. Thank you, Nicole. You're so sweet. Thank you. You know, it's about anybody who was made to feel bad for apologizing. I'm just saying, like, either you're going to accept it, and you can definitely express to that person the way that they made you feel, but in the same sense, then you move on. And if you choose to accept that apology, you're not going to keep bringing up to them, you did this, you did this, you did this. Then you didn't accept the apology then. You have to know when to move on. Just like if you choose to forgive your boyfriend after he does something to you, you know, say a friend does that. Like I said, for that example right there, you know, either you're going to move on with him and let him know it's going to take me forever to trust you, or you're not. It's that simple. You don't sit there and keep ragging and ragging and ragging and ragging on that person and making them feel like shit when they've already apologized to you. You know, that defeats the whole purpose of apologizing. Nobody should have to feel bad when they have the courage, especially when other creators don't even have the courage to go on other people's panels, right? If a person has the courage enough to do that, either you're going to accept it or you're not. There is no reason to make that person continuously feel bad for something that they've done. That's ridiculous. But, yes. Right. I agree. Yeah, I moved on from her way before she even did that shit. You know. But that's my story, and I'll tell it one day. All right, I love you guys to pieces. Thank you so much for being here. I genuinely, like I said, you guys have my heart. And I hope that you guys have an amazing night. Thank you to all my mods for being so amazing. I appreciate you guys. And I don't have anything else to say. Well, that's your opinion. I don't agree. You can't keep apologizing over and over and over again. Yeah, apologizing and taking accountability, you know, to me go hand in hand, I guess. But regardless, I'm talking about apology. When you apologize to somebody for everything that you've done, whatever the fuck it was, it's a wrap. It should be over with, done. That's it. Thank you, Criminal Imagination. And thank you guys so much. Thank you to my mods. Love y'all. I will be live tomorrow. And hold on one second. I hope that this live there have been tons of apologies this past 10 months, and many people's actions only get worse. Well, then that means you just don't talk to those people. Don't make it more than what it is. All right. I love you guys, and I will see you guys tomorrow. And I hope you guys all have a good night, and thank you for being here. I love y'all. See you tomorrow. Bye.